is parallel processing. All right. If I am correct, you can now see my slide deck. Yes. All right. Let's kick off. Meeting 22. It's amazing. November 14th, 2024. Let's go ahead with our bi-weekly meeting where we discuss these things. We welcome new authors. We have some reminders, some flight safety instructions, some updates from leadership, promotion of what we do with conferences, etc., work stream updates, and any other business. So I was wondering that apart from these agenda points, are there any points that you would like to have put on the agenda today? Any questions, worries, impediments, things that you would like to celebrate and to share? I'm looking around the room. Give me some time. I hear none, but if something pops up, feel free to interrupt me and we'll see if we can squeeze it in. New members. We have a whole new batch of members, and I'm thrilled that people of this caliber are interested in contributing to the AI Exchange. And today, if I'm correct, I'm not skipping anybody because I don't have a full list on my screen. We have Rajiv, we have Mohammed, and we have Aishwarya as new people. Anybody I'm overlooking? According to my window, I'm not. I would like to give each one of you, let's say, a minute to briefly say who you are and how you see yourself contributing to our work. And I'd like to start with Aishwarya, if that's possible.
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm really excited to be working here. I am an AI engineer at a startup in Indiana. I've been working here for the past 1 year. I've been contributing to like detecting prompt injections, masking PII, and also like exploring various other privacy enhancing techniques to make our platform more secure. I've been using OWASP a lot in guiding me through this process. So I'm excited to contribute to the prompt injection like tasks that are coming up.
Oh yeah, and there will be. So it's great to have you. Also, it's great that you are already somewhat familiar in the use of the material that we have available, which makes it interesting for us to hear any contributions, ideas, suggestions that you would feel make it easier because you're actually sort of representing our target audience. So apart from your subject matter expertise, being a user of the AI Exchange may result in some insights that could be very helpful. So I would like to invite you to share them as well.
Yeah, definitely. I'm hoping to collaborate in any way possible. Thank you so much.
Great to have you. Then Rajiv, please.
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm Rajiv Behel, and so I've been in the cyber defense in my earlier role, and as part of that, I had the good opportunity of working with some of the top product vendors like CrowdStrike, Palo Alto, Microsoft, and I have done transitions of major SIMs, QRadar to Securonix to Palo Alto, CrowdStrike, etc. And I have worked with the R&D teams, mostly based in Israel, with all of them, developing their product and making it better, actually. So, and as part of that, and I'm a CISSP, and I have also contributed to the exam development for CISSP. It was really interesting to see how such a large scale project is done with such a precision, And then I'm also nominated as a cybersecurity mentor by the EC Council. Now, I'm now in a startup, St. Fox Consulting, and I look after Gen AI and cyber defense, and which includes red teaming LLM, which is my passion. Okay, and yeah, so I have been doing that. So overseeing the red team, my team is doing that, and I'm personally also very hands-on, on red teaming LLMs, and I just enjoy it. And it's fun actually, to be very honest. So I look forward to contributing as well as learning from all of you.
Thank you. Yeah, indeed, there's a lot of fun in that. And also there's a lot of need for more insights and more material. Also in the AI Act work, the requirements work, where we need to specify the minimal amount of LLM red teaming that we believe vendors of models and systems with models should perform. So your input would be very welcome there. And also with the work of Banas, who's working on the red teaming content. Thank you.
Sure.
I
Thanks.
noticed that Rikai or Rekai, I hope I pronounce it correctly, also has joined the call. Welcome.
Hello. Hello. First of all, thank you very much for accepting me into the amazing working group. So my name is Rejai. I'm from Germany, working at SAIS Group, which offers advanced technologies in optical systems worldwide. So I have experienced extensive 19-year experience in finance and public sector. SAIS has a long-standing history of integrating AI into its different products and services, digital services. Currently, I hold the position of Corporate Information Security Leader in the Responsible AI Office at SAIS. My main goal is to align IT and information security requirements with all aspects of information security in compliance with the European AI Act. Additionally, we are focused on enabling key stakeholders such as developers and product and project leaders about AI security. Designing process is essential for us. It is also important to implement strong technical controls across different external and internal solutions and products. So we are also trying kind of creating security technical implementation guides for different AI solutions, considering regulations, privacy, data security, export control, dual use issues, and more in regions, countries like USA, China, and Europe.
Yeah, wow. And you live in Germany, correct?
I live in Germany, yes.
Germany. It's great, really great to have you. Welcome. Also, being part of the target audience of the exchange and a subject matter expert gives you, I think, a great position to provide valuable contributions. So, again, thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
I'd like to go to Mohammed.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. I'm very happy to be part of this round. Just a couple of sentences about myself. I've been in security for several years, started off in offensive security as a penetration tester, then switched to defensive security, digital forensics, threat hunting, incident response, and several years in security compliance in the banking industry. And currently I'm driving the AI security topic in my current company. And as just also as a complement, I've been extensively supporting myself in the documents and information that you're already providing as the best guideline that I could find. So really looking forward to provide my contribution, especially in the vendor security assessment. I've been extensively in contact with LLM providers, some of them top tier providers in the vendor security assessment process. Looking forward.
Thank you. Welcome, and thank you for the compliment. That's one of our goals, to make practitioners, which often include ourselves, happy. As a matter of fact, the whole AI Exchange started as my personal notebook. Everything that I found out, I started to put in a web page, and look at us now. I mean, we're more than 50 people contributing. People who want to join and people who have the intention to contribute. What I want to stress is that it's also important to fulfill that intention. We depend on each other, right? And sometimes life happens and we need to concentrate on other things, or we get a new job and we cannot focus for a certain period. It's important to be transparent to each other if we are unavailable. And if we are available, we expect from each other that we actually contribute to the material. It speaks for itself, but I think it's good to iterate this. Also want to say hi to Nicholas, to Chris, to Yuvi, Aranish, who's in 2 calls. I don't know how he does it. Dharmesh, Ravi, and Valentino, and Chloe. Thank you all for joining. And welcome to the new people. And Ash, Chinmoy, and Magesh also have been recently added to the group. Some reminders, especially for the new people. Slack is our main communication channel. It's important to visit it regularly to stay up to date. Sharing if you're unavailable, like I just expressed. And if you need anything, let leadership know. So leadership, that's Benas, that's me, that's Aranish, that's Chris. Approach us if you run into anything or you need anything. Help them make some noise for the exchange. I got a message today. Was it from you, Rajiv, with an idea to, we can go into that later when we talk about promotion.
Right.
It's all about making noise about the exchange. We currently have almost 2,400 followers on LinkedIn, which is not bad. It shows that people like us, and we can increase that footprint if we make more. If we make more noise. Don't underestimate what we can achieve together. In our work, we focus on what is AI specific, and we minimize conventional material because there's a lot to be read about cybersecurity, risk management, and you name it. SQL injection, etc. We focus on that, what makes things AI specific. And if you use Google Doc, please use the suggest or the review mode. The top right, there's a pen, click it, and don't have it in editing, but have it in review mode. So we all can track what was changed between what's in the Google document and your work, and also who has done this work. Those were the flight safety instructions. Updates from leadership. Benas is to be onboarded in the team once the red teaming results are in. And I know that you're super eager to join Benas, and we're super eager to onboard you, but we also don't want to distract you from finalizing this important work. I hope you understand. But it's not a secret that you are leadership of the AI Exchange. So that word, I mean, you can tell that to anybody that you like, and be proud about it because you deserve it. As announced, John Sotropoulos will step down also from the LLM top team leadership, and we'll look back on his contributions by sharing a message and looking back to it and share that with him as well as a thank you. LinkedIn followers, again, 2367, not bad, pretty good actually. I visited Torino in Italy, close to the Alps, on November 4th to talk with the European Commission and to work with Work Group 5 of Sensenelec on the AI Act security requirements. And my conclusions, and I really find these very important to share with the whole group. Work Group 5 is missing some AI expertise that the OWASP group has. So there's a great synergy there where we can contribute material for which Work Group 5 and the existing liaisons are currently not sufficiently able to provide. We need much more content because we have a document, but there are entirely empty sections. There's nothing on evasion attack detection. There's nothing on data poison testing. There's just a bunch of notes. And yeah, that's a problem because in January, our draft, which should show people a good beginning of the standard. And if there are entire missing sections, they wonder, these guys are AI security experts. Why is there nothing written down? I predict if we share the document the way it is now, it will fail the ballot. That means that all European countries will be offered to vote. Some will abstain, some will vote no, maybe a few will vote yes, given the current state, because, well, they know that we're actually are able to do it, but the document gives a wrong impression. And if the ballot fails, that draft will not be accepted. And that likely means that OWASP loses its place at the table here. As the assignment will probably go to another organization instead of Sensenelic. In any case, even if the European Commission believes in Sensenelic, and they should, because we can make it happen, although we don't have currently sufficient evidence that we can. And this is a blow to standardization, this is a blow to OWASP, and this is a blow to the industry and the market, because if the assignment needs to go to another organization, it is likely that the whole process will be delayed, that the industry will receive AI security requirements late, and they may not be of sufficient quality to really regulate the security of AI products. And that will be a problem for the market. And the market is you, me, anybody, organizations using AI and suffering from security issues in it, or stifling innovation and preventing great products to come on the European market, and preventing people to make actually use of it because the security requirements are too strict. So we have a responsibility actually here, which is why the requirements work is so important. And effectively, we only have 5 weeks from now to provide that material. And we don't have to specify all the evasion attack methodologies. If there's just one decently worked out and based on principles and it looks good, and we insert an editorial note, additional tests in the coming time will be added, then we demonstrate that we have the expertise. Now, it's not that we have nothing, but the problem is that some of the key aspects are actually missing. And why is this the case? And this is an important notion. We are not writing guidelines. For the first time in history, we are writing requirements for AI security. And that's something completely different, because requirements, they set a bar. They are specific about, you have a product, then you need to comply with A, B, C, and D. And if you don't, we don't accept it. That's very different from saying, you have a product and you want to make it secure. Well, you can do A, you can do B, you can X, you can Y, you can Z, good luck. And then, people can find it out themselves and they are helped. But when you set a bar, you need to set requirements. And that's what takes so much time, because it's really hard to do that. It's never been done before. That was my update from Turin. Any questions about this? I can imagine that some things may be unclear. Don't be shy.
I think, Rob, just for the AI requirement, maybe it's going to be important to talk about why is it 5 weeks, not 8 weeks, because January is literally 8 to 9 weeks away, right? Mid-January. So I think people who are signing up or who have shown interest itself, they should realize that there's going to be some downtime between now and December itself, with Thanksgiving coming up and Christmas and other holidays and the New Year's. I think we're just left with 5 weeks, maybe 5.5 weeks to actually ensure the content is robust, it's reliable, and it's detailed enough.
Yes. So it's no Thanksgiving for you, Aranish, I'm afraid, this year. No, but you're right. We need to look effectively how much time we have to collaborate. And the type of material that we're looking for, I mean, it's a matter of finding the right person for the right job. If we have a specific section on, let's say, exceptions to rate limiting, and you know this topic, you probably are able to write down the basic aspects of it from the top of your head. Maybe look up 1 or 2 details, but you can start typing and have that material there and have it in a form that shows that we understand what we're talking about. And we can always further improve it. It is not the new standard in January. It is the new standard in August 2026. And we need to communicate it to the world in August 2025. So we have time to make it fantastic. And in January, it needs to be promising and okay, and not complete. And that's doable. And we have a list of work items. We'll go through it when we talk about it in the work streams. All right, moving to promotion. Don't know if Aranish, if you're still in that other call. Otherwise, we'll move your Project Summit update to later. Yeah, do it later. Another update is Benaz's great performance. I was able to watch it because it was recorded and immediately shared, which you hardly see nowadays. So that was a nice surprise. How do you look back to it?
Actually, yes, actually, I was really excited about it, and because when they mentioned, actually, it was broadcast live, because my family can see it. Actually, they see me, but it was really good, and it was very well, because I heard lots of the noises that people are speaking about. Oh, this is OWASP AI Exchange. So, but it was very, it is my honor that actually that I have this opportunity to speak about OWASP AI Exchange. And I received actually a really great feedback so far, both during the conference and after that people wrote me a message in a LinkedIn, and they mentioned that they were on an actually in conference, and I had this opportunity to speak with different senior managers there from different companies. So generally, it was great. It was amazing, and I'm looking forward for the next conferences actually in future, with the actually larger border of the people.
Nice, really well done. Yeah, I welcome everybody to explore opportunities for yourself in your local community, or more international conferences, because you're part of the exchange. That will give you a +1, to get on board. And Benaz, what you did is provided an overview. People want to know, they find it an interesting topic. You did it well, and you set an example. So thanks for that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Isaka will have a conference next year. It's important to have a look at. Benelux Days for OWASP. So that's sort of the Benelux equivalent of the event that you presented at Benaz. I will be there. You will be there as well. So that'll be nice to meet you in person. There is also a seminar on November 25th. Is it something that you perhaps will visit, Benaz, or anybody else? Niklas, maybe? Okay. I know that currently Susanna, who is usually part of this call, is doing a talk at a conference. Don't know if it's listed here. Yes, Threat Model Connect. That is today. So she's talking about data, the new oil, which is pretty cool. It's maybe even happening now, but at least now she's at the event. This is the same slide as last time. Oh, I should say, I should add here, it's not on the list. That is OWASP Global AppSec Barcelona. That is in May, and you should check it out. Check out call for submissions and trainings. I'm going to provide again a one-day training about AI security, just like last time. I welcome everybody who will be prepared to travel to Barcelona in May. Doesn't sound really bad. To see if you can submit something, and please coordinate, especially for popular conferences, bigger conference like this. Just share in the authors group if you plan to submit, and we may even create a small team around it, like was done for RSA this year, where we align and we can do multiple talks and not sort of overlap each other, but make sure that there's a synergy between what we do. All right, moving to the workstream updates. These are the work streams that have a spotlight. I know there's a group working on MLOps and data pipeline security. So it's GAL, also with Alan and with Nif. Anybody else working on this currently in the call? I don't think so, so probably no update from this. Gal excused himself as he could not join the call, but we'll provide an update later. That work is ongoing. Then red teaming, moving to the slide. This is your slide,
Yes.
Nas. Please update us.
Yes, actually, UB and I, we checked out your comments. So we are currently in the process. So the first 2 pages actually scoped need improvement, but our tables are completed. And I think you may review it on Friday, and pictures as well as have been added. So we just only need improvement in our 2 first pages.
Good. Yeah, that's where I started to read, which is why I responded with my first feedback. And I'm gonna do the second iteration on Friday.
Yeah.
I promise, actually. And the also look at the pictures, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
The tables and pictures.
I will do this. So to anybody who does not know what this is about the red teaming effort, which is content for the AI Exchange that discusses currently an overview of red teaming tools, so AI red teaming tools for Gen AI and for predictive AI, and very useful, I think, for practitioners. And the next step will be to also discuss the strategies that are actually applied by these tools. So what do you do exactly? What type of payloads? What are the tactics of providing those payloads and checking in the responses? Also to explain some of the mechanisms, and also to be able to use that in the requirements, because in practitioner guidance, we can say you can use these tools, but in an AI Act standard, which we are writing, we cannot say you need to use tools A, B, and C. We need to describe more on a method level the type of attacks that they are trying and how they are trying them. So that will be a challenge, but that's material that we can then also use for an update on the red teaming work.
Yes, can I add something?
Sure.
So I just send a message to our group for actually schedule a meeting with the group's member to speak about continues the actual next project for the red teaming. So because I don't want to pressure actually a lot, because I know our first priority would be the security requirements. So because of that, I just want to only speak short with a group's member about it, and to have just a little brainstorm about the structure and about the steps that which we need to make it. But I don't want, because I know the first priority is the security requirements.
Good. Yeah, sounds good. It's a good plan. And we can definitely use that in the requirements work. Thank you for the update. Going back to the list regarding math, let's recap. Some great updates were done by the math team led by Nicholas. Let me bring up the overview that we had in the previous call. It's this work. I started integrating this into the AI Exchange and stumbled upon a discrepancy which was fixed by Nicholas. So that integration work still has to be done. There are a couple of things where I am the bottleneck, but that should not stop work. One is the integration of the work that we do into the AI Exchange. So sometimes this requires some waiting. And this is actually the same case with the red teaming work that we want to integrate. I review it first, so I'm sort of functioning as the gateway to get it published. And the same goes for the math work. There is important work to be done by the math people. And what do I mean by the math people? That's sort of a nickname for the people who know about adversarial machine learning. Both typically predictive AI, but also let's say Gen AI red teaming. And Nicholas, so I'm hoping very much also for your contributions and the others in working on the work items in the requirements group. But let's talk about that when that's on the agenda. First, policy and regulations. I know that Chloe's on the call. Is there an update from that work stream, Chloe, or any other update that you would like to share?
Yeah, I've been trying to meet with Dennis since the beginning of September, and it has been unsuccessful at this time.
Yeah.
And I would like to move forward on the policies and regulations front, especially because of new presidency coming into office. We have to be on top of all of that right now.
Yes. This is of course unfortunate, and teamwork really helps in doing this. So I can understand that you were waiting for Dennis. Dennis is indicated, but apparently not broad enough that he is unavailable until the end of November. But after that, is really keen to join again, and it has to do with his new job. So there is light at the end of this tunnel, Chloe. Yes, after November, it will be easier for you and Dennis to pick this up.
Okay.
And I think, Chloe, you bring like a good point, and which is common for most of all work streams itself, right? You might find like people are falling by the wayside because of other work commitments. So I think if we feel like somebody is unavailable, one of your co-team members is not available, I think like it's still important to actually progress on stuff. And I do understand that Dennis, for whatever reason, keeps shifting out the stuff. But I think like we can look within. There might be other folks who might be interested in collaborating. I know Susanna also expressed some interest in doing some policy level work. So maybe one of the things we can do, and I can take ownership of this, like to connect all three of us together, and maybe if there is interest by anybody else also, to ensure there is like a small working group that we can stand up and ensure like things are progressing on this one.
Sounds good.
Right. Take your point completely itself.
All right, thanks, Chloe. I noticed that Caleb has joined the call. Caleb, welcome to this meeting, and great to meet you.
Yes.
It's the first time we are on a call together, so it's good to see you. And I would like to ask you to use this occasion to very briefly, let's say 1 minute, tell us something about yourself and how you're intending to collaborate.
Sure. I had did this a while before, but I'd be more than happy to do it again. But again, my name is Caleb Charles, and I'm in the Washington, D.C. metro area. And, I'm doing a lot of different things within the space right now. For example, with my research work that I'm doing at the university, we are doing a lot of red teaming and security vulnerability of LLM systems. And I know you were talking about some of the tools, to conduct some red teaming, and we're using two tools right now. One of them is called Garrick, and the other one is called GISCAR, which are LLM scanners. And we're kind of using that to see what kind of anomalies that we could find with those particular tools, as well as traditional scanners to, make sure that the platform is fine. In conjunction to that, I also work as an AI governance individual, and I'm in the midst of setting up an AI governance framework for the organization. So we're doing a lot of things with the AI risk framework, and putting one together, putting an AI committee together, which encompasses a whole bunch of different stakeholders within the organization. Also doing some stuff in data governance. And basically in the last meeting, I had kind of volunteered. I wasn't sure where I needed to plant my flag, but I noticed that there was a section on FERPA, education. And I know one of the main policies in education is FERPA. So I've been doing some work to see how AI, are there any guidance within FERPA as it relates to AI, and what guidance might we need to provide in the education center area as it relates to FERPA. So definitely looking to get more active. The good thing is that the semester is coming to an end in a couple of weeks, and I'll definitely have a lot more time to be able to help, assist, and participate. But you know, whatever capacity that I'm needed, I'll be more than available to make myself a contributor in that area, or any type of guidance. It's a little kind of cloudy, and you're just trying to plant your flag somewhere, but I'm not sure where I'm planting my flag right now.
That's
Nice
funny.
analogy. Thank you, Caleb. Great to have you.
Thank you.
I think through the red teaming group, there's great opportunity to work on the next version of that content and discuss some of the strategies of testing LLMs in this case, for which you have hands-on experience. So that will be very, very welcome.
Sure, yeah.
And I'll leave it to the red team group, including Banas, to include you in those conversations.
I'm on Slack every day, so if you want to reach out via Slack or whatever means possible, you know, I'm pretty responsive when it comes to that. Thank you.
Then we are with standards mapping and taxonomies. Some of the work items there in which we have been not showing much progress, as we have a lot of standards to look at to see how we align, with the exception of the work for NIST led by Susanna. She's not able today to provide an update there. Any other updates from the realm of standards mapping and taxonomies? If not, we move forward to the EU AI Act requirements story. So in a nutshell, first draft content to be finalized January 6, 2025. That means that before the holiday season, we need to have all the content in. And with all the content, I don't, again, mean the complete content of the final standard, but content that shows that we have the expertise to write this standard. The latest version has been put in Google Doc. There's a list of work items, and I will show it shortly. There's a group with, I think, currently now 24 people, Project AI requirements, divided into subgroups who each are picking up a number of work items. I will also show that to you. Several members are not yet assigned. I will work with them. I will spend more time on sort of coordinating the requirements work. Having said that, our work for this document should not be reactive on any instructions or anything that I say. We have assigned those work items. There's a whole range of them, and it's just a matter of picking them up and doing them. And if there's any impediments or unclarities, to provide it. We need to be, how do you say, autonomous here as experts, and seek each other's help when we need it. This work will not be achieved through me doing any micromanagement, which means that the people committed to contribute here should also be both committed and also acting on it. And let me give you an overview of what this means. This document is linked in the descriptions of the requirements Slack channel, and also linked from our main Google document, the AI Exchange authors whiteboard. This is the requirements whiteboard, and it starts with instructions regarding this project. And the project is further improving the document below, setting security requirements for the AI Act. And this is actually the draft standard being developed within Sensenelic. We are allowed to look at it because we are part of this OWASP project, and there is an official liaison partnership between OWASP and Sensenelic, which is helping tremendously because then we can collaborate closely. What it does mean is that this document should not be shared with the rest of the world. That will, create a problem for OWASP and this initiative. It's just too early. It sets wrong expectations. So keep this Google document to ourselves. Instructions are basically, and this is the main one, pick up a work item that fits your expertise. And they're in the table below. Let's look at the table. So this one is a request to an adversarial machine learning expert, specify backdoor poisoning resilience tests. So what does literature, what does your expertise, what does your experience say about doing tests that test if a system is resistant against backdoor poisoning? And this is actually the toughest one, I think, in the whole list. Evasion attack, on detecting evasion attack tries, like for example, detecting sprays in the temporal space. Let's see what else. This is the working group on AI security in general. So for example, a very simple one, how do we specify requirements on when security testing should be repeated? So we're going to require vendors to do regular evasion attack testing. And how do we specify when they need to redo their testing? After every model update? But what if the model is continuously being trained and fine-tuned? So we need to be specific, and we can borrow from existing standards that talk about, for example, how we are specific about when penetration testing should be repeated in sort of conventional cybersecurity settings. Then there are AI generic work items for which we have no people yet assigned. So again, this is a table of work items. Every group of work items has a focus group. This is adversarial ML with Nicholas, Susanna, Valentino, and Juvie. The next group is Susanna, Ahmed, and Magesh. And this one has nobody. So if you know about AI and you think you have something to say about the validation of model performance, how do we want the vendors to regularly or continuously actually validate their performance? It's not that you have to invent this from scratch. Just look at existing work and see how we can specify requirements here. And don't be shy. Watch out for the imposter syndrome. Any idea goes. So if you have some thoughts, just put them in. We'll work on it together. We'll combine it and make it great. Next group is on AI LLM security with Gal, Piotr, Peter, Rajiv, and Aishwarya. Rajiv, this is where I added you. Also Aishwarya, because of your profile and the expertise in LLM security work. Some requirements on model alignment, for example, by vendors of foundation models. How we expect vendors to curate training data. And curating training data can, for example, the minimal form can be, you need to have a record of where you get your training data from. Which websites did you train this LLM on, for example? When was it? Were there any filters involved? That's the minimal form. The second form is that you have that you want the vendor to have a certain policy to exclude malicious material. And what is the strategy for that? Well, there are some material out there that we can use, but it is fine for the January version to say that we want some process in place to filter malicious material based on a blacklist. And I know that is vague, but it's much better than the current situation, which is that section is actually completely empty. And let me show it to you. So this is about 6.7. The document that we're talking about, the standard, is right here. You can navigate using the outline here. Data minimization and obfuscation, and here it is. Add a clause regarding curation of the training set. Because if we send out this document right here without any content on curation, there will be immediate criticism saying, why is there nothing, or is there no requirement about restricting and being careful what you use as a training set if you are training LLMs, for example. It just, we need to have something there. So that's an example of one of the work items. If you pick up a work item, you can put your name next to it, that you're working on it. If you're adding some suggestions, like for example, right here, then you go to suggest mode, and then you say, how many interactions are required? Here is an overview of blah, 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 blah. And then you have your contribution. What you also can do as an alternative is simply add a comment saying, I found an article rate limit thresholds for attacks, and then HTTP, and then you add the link. By doing so, we get all kinds of intel. And I realized that this document is not the AI Exchange, but it is for a specific purpose, which is the AI Act security standard. And after we have added all this information, we're going to transfer it back to the AI Exchange, because that has a different format, has a different purpose. The AI Exchange is currently guidance. We're going to add requirements to it, and all the intel that we gather here will enrich the AI Exchange. Yeah, I think that's about enough for the logistics of how we want to approach this. There is a list of names that have not been assigned yet. Let me see if any of those names are currently present in this call. I'm bringing up the requirements group on my second screen. 1 second. Here we go. And so with Dan, Aaronese, is there a specific group that you are keen on to join from the ones that we?
I mean, like, I can provide like an overarching support for everything, but I think one area which is around the supply chain, that's something that is close to my heart.
It is, right? Yes.
Yeah.
I will add your name immediately. And I would really welcome indeed some help in walking around, you know, by the groups to see if we can provide any support and to check how things are going. That's the supply chain. Here we are. This is all about supply chain. So I'm adding your name here specifically. All right.
Actually, Rob, I'm also involved in already part of the discussions about the supply chain with the other colleagues. So I would also be contributing here.
Yes. Let me double check something. If you are part of this group, yes, you are. So that's good. That was a prerequisite. Looking at the rest of this list, Owen, Eugene, James. James, by the way, sent me a personal message that he was otherwise engaged in the recent time, but was keen on continuing contributions. So we haven't seen him, but he's happy to join us again and work with us. So that's great. Ravi, you're in this call. Any work item that you would, or set of work items that you would like to be assigned to?
Yeah, I communicated this on Slack. I would like to work with Ahmed and basically on the AI security working group.
You did. I'm sorry, I haven't looked into this message. I'll look into it and follow up on it. Thank you.
Sure, and also, you know, based on our last call, though we belong to a working group, I think if there are items which we could pick up outside, I'm trying to do that as well. If I remember, I've done a couple of items in the last week or so. So, but specifically with the working group, I would be interested in working with the AI security working group.
Okay, I will follow up on that.
Susana and Ahmed, yeah.
Thank you. Zia, no, not in the call. All right. That's what I wanted to share with you guys. If you run into any impediment or unclarity, please let us know. Let's work on this. Let's keep in touch on the requirements channel. This will mean that some of my attention to the other how do you say, work items outside of this until January will be not zero, but not as much as it normally would be. That's not a personal thing. That's just a matter of the current priority that we have to deal with. And the repercussions are quite profound if we don't manage to pull this off. That leaves me to any other business, anything that any of you would like to bring up, something that you run into, something that you'd like to share or celebrate with us, or a question or an impediment.
I think, Rob, one other thing we can probably do is the 4 working groups within the AI requirement. Maybe we can get like an update of what was done in the last 2 weeks, if there are any updates from those specific units. And I do see UV on the call, who's the point for supply chain itself, and probably go around the room on those 4 functional areas itself.
That is about the requirements work, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, like we can have like a different forum to see the progress on that, but since we have time, we can.
Yeah, I would love to do that after we've looked around the room, around the table, to see if there are any other remarks or things, input from you guys.
I would like to provide a very quick update on step by step. I shared this update with Arunesh. Arunesh, if you're okay with that, I'll speak a couple of points about that.
Please.
That's sure. Okay, so we provided a structure spreading across 3 broad steps. The first is to strategize, basically planning and strategizing the whole AI security initiative or transformation, if you will, and then understand, analyze, the current landscape, the business drivers, what kind of use cases, etc., and then come up with a AI security architecture and implement the policies and the technical solutions and governance, etc., iteratively. When I say iteratively, it could be set by set in terms of process, or from a business perspective, business unit by business unit. So that's the kind of structure that we provided. So we started writing specific actions in each of those. Though we got a table listing down the high-level activities, but we're now trying to elaborate on each of these. And Rob, we also looked at the document that you shared with us, the SGI guidelines. Yes. So we found it, what we have written there as high level is very closely aligned with the SGI guidelines as well. So that alignment is there. Of course, there could be a few other things that we may have to pick up and use as a reference from the SGI guidelines, which we will do. So that's the update on step by step. A question here is, how deep do we go when we say step by step? So just as an example, if you look at the NIST AI RMF playbook, they've got 3 or 4 very detailed sections. One is about, the section itself is about what exactly is a particular activity. And then they've got a set of activities. And then they're also talking about documentary evidence that an organization might produce to prove that they are in fact doing some of those activities. And they also proceed to give a list of references. So that's the structure they have organized. So how deep do we go? Do we stop with the steps, or we also proceed to look at the possible document that the organization could produce, or how do we want to go?
I think I'll take a stab at this one. And in fact, like last time when we were able to actually speak in person, not in person, but virtually, I think like the phase one is more high level. Like if we can actually exemplify, okay, these are like the high level steps that needs to be done. And after the phase one is delivered, we go to the phase two, which is slightly more detailed. I think the eventual aim is to actually make it detailed so that it can be applied cross verticals. But I think that's would require like a lot of effort, a lot of time, and people coming from different industries also. Like if we try to do it like on the first tranche of stuff, I mean, like it's going to be extremely difficult. If we can do the first tranche at a very high level, which is cross vertical, cross platforms, and then once we achieve that, then we go into the phase two where we do it, okay, for automotive, for healthcare, and for fintech and other industry itself. I think that's the aim that we need to actually ensure we are following. But
It sounds like a smart plan. And then, Ravi, I think it's a matter of exploring per topic how deep we should go. If you go too deep, you put yourself in a position where you need to do a lot of maintenance work towards the future because things will change. Also at the AI Exchange, we try to mostly provide the material that will help people going without going into too much detail. And for that, refer to other resources, but that is easy to say. I would like to remind of two things. One, the guide that I shared with you guys is about AI in general, but we should focus on AI security. And second, it should function as a sort of a user manual for the AI Exchange, right? That needs to be a connection with people wondering, okay, this AI Exchange material looks really great, 150 pages, where do I start? And because we cannot put our own OWASP Ai Exchange in a format of step 1, step 2, step 3. And that is one of the main reasons that we need the step-by-step guide so bad. Having said that, it's 1 past the hour. I'm going to create an opportunity to do updates around the requirements. I will work with you, Aranis, to time that so that we can both at least be present at that. And then UV, you'll be the first turn to provide updates. Thanks again, everybody, for joining. Have a great day and evening, and we see each other on Slack.
You too.
Thank you, Rob.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rob.
Bye.
Take care.
thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.